to the judgment rendered by the court in favor of Mrs. Doe, former First Lady of the Republic of Liberia. And just before we start, I just want to make a disclaimer that this press conference is strictly about our private issue. It has nothing to do with government. I just want to make that emphatically clear. That it's strictly private matter we're discussing. And mainly, the purpose of this meeting is we want to discuss how things unfolded with us and our former counselor, Councilor Milton Taylor. And we feel as a family that he has gone beyond great length to defame the name of former First Lady Mrs. Doe, and I think it was necessary that we call this press conference to express ourselves and make people know that, or tell people what actually unfolded. So, with that said, sorry. With that said, I'll pass it to my younger sister that will go into details. But once again, you're welcome.
Okay, everyone, thank you for coming again. My name is Kate Do. I am the youngest. I'm just going to briefly go into the detail of how the lawsuit came about, as well as the false allegations against my mother, that she was in debt to our former counselor, Melton Taylor. My mother acquired his services in 2011, and from that time until 2020, we had about 3 major court cases, one being the Famuma case, which everyone knows about. We won that case in 2014, and we won that case in 2014. The other party was supposed to file an appeal, which they never did, and there was no one saw through it that we acquired the property on our part, which is the responsibility of our legal counsel. And since 2014, we still have not acquired the Famuma property. We also won the case, which went to equal, as everyone know, and we still have not gotten payment there either. Also, my mother did have a pension case, I believe in 2013, that she won. That's the only case that we received payment for, and in return we paid our lawyer, Councilor Milton Taylor, $45,000 in cash for that case. So when it came to it, he approached my mother to sign a contract that will make him legally bind to our Famuma estate, in regards to us paying him roughly $200,000, as well as 50% of any revenues that we have from that estate, which is unheard of for a lawyer to ask for any percentage when it comes to your estate. So we did not feel comfortable with signing that contract, and we asked him to revise it so we can go back to negotiation, and he refused to do that. Because he refused to do that, we decided to terminate his services or just go separate ways from him, because we were not moving forward. As I stated, he's been our lawyer for he was our lawyer for 9 years, and we still have not acquired a lot of our any of our properties that he went under litigation. And so when we decided to terminate his counsel in retaliation, that's when he brought the lawsuit, the false allegation that my mother owed him debt, and went on, approached the media and claimed that, as if my mother was a common criminal, like she didn't pay her debt and that she would be put in jail, and all these falsities. And so we're just coming here, it's a positive thing that came out of a negative thing, because we didn't speak to the media prior to going to court. We wanted the truth to speak for itself, and last week we had a judgment that the judge dismissed his case, and so we just wanted to really clarify and clear my mother's name, because it was wrong, and it was something that we wanted to handle personally and not to be put out in public like that. but you know, he refused to do that, and that's why we're in the position where we are now. We don't have any ill will or animosity towards him. It's very common for people to hire legal services and choose to move in another direction. It's only because of who my mother is, that she's the former First Lady of Liberia, that it was made so publicly, and you know, and that he defamed her name, and really that's what it was. It was a lot of defamation, and it was no basis for it. So you know, it's really important for us to give my mother the opportunity to clarify a lot of misinformation that was put out there by his team and himself. So that's why we're here today.
But can you leave some of those misinformation?
Well, one of the misinformation was that my mother was in debt to him, that my mother owed him money, which she did not. The only case that my mother was paid out was my father's pension case, and once she received the payment, she paid him $45,000 in cash. That's the only case that we received payment from that he has dealt with in the 9 years. We have not received any sort of payment or any access to any of our properties in the 9 years he represented us, and that's the truth. And our agreement with him was, once we receive payment, then you in return will get paid. And so the judge agreed with that, and that's why his case was dismissed. So for him to claim as if my mother was like a thief or, you know, someone of bad character was complete defamation.
Thank you. Good evening to everybody, all in Liberia. What I want to say here today, I want to express myself about what my counselor did to me. Counselor Taylor, from the former counselor did to me. You know, that man here is working with me since 2011, Counselor Taylor. The only case we win that was my husband's pension money. About 5 to 6 years ago. I won the case, I paid him 20%, which was $45,000. And since that time, and we started with the Famuma case, and we won the case on the 2014. Well, we the case now, he never followed it. Up to now today, it stayed in Supreme Court. It stayed in Supreme Court. The 18 million case, 2018, I won the case. It stayed like that. I never got any penny. Okay. Last time Taylor saying that he wrote the agreement, he write the agreement that he and myself, I must sign it cost, I think, for a moment agreement. He charged me $200,000.
It's a USD or
US dollars. Okay. I agree. Well, if I'm more free, I got in my hand, I should pay him $300,000 and $200,000. I accept it. I told him to write the agreement. He read the agreement. Then he saying on the agreement now, he's saying that if you are paying $200,000, then after I lease it from Muma to anybody, he got 50%. So I said, why? I finish paying you, you charge me $200,000 to free the Famuma. If you are paying you that money, then why the 50% for? So I will not agree. I call my dollar, he say I'm coming. So Veronica came and carried the document to him and talked to him. He refused. He said, I agree to pay you $200,000. All of us we agree. Because you've been working for a whole long time, we agree. Then when they, after the 200,000, when they finish gave you now, then when we listen the famuma now, then you get 50%. Then why the 50%? Why it fall? So we not agree. So change it. He refuse. He said if you change it, then you will not work with us. If I give it to your mother, said, why you must take it for? He said, but my mom can't read. That's why she sent me to school. So that's why I here for. He said, but you don't get right to take it from her. So he refused to change it. He said, if you're not there, then you will not work with me again. I said, okay. That's how I said him. So he get on now, he sue me to the court. He said, I hold you $6 million and 18 million case for Muma and wedding financial case. So I hold him. They must sell my property. And they put me in jail. They put it in the air. BBC and all. So when I get there, I go to court. So that's court. And I win him. He was lying to me. I tell her, how you will put me in jail? Did you put Chicken in jail before? I never told you when you put me in jail. What's that? You the one keeping my case on you and dead. 9 years. I can't get any lawyer. I can't do anything. Look at the farmer here. The judge hanging there. You know when go to court. You know when do anything. So how will pay you 200,000? Then I'm gonna give you 50% while I lease the house again. That they have for you now. Then why you can't take it? Then you spoiling my name here. I will sue him. I will sue that Councilor Taylor there. I will sue him to display my character. I will sue him for that. So I want a case now. I want to tell the world, the Liberian people, that he lied to me. I'm not ungrateful person. When you do my work, you tell you all time you do my work, I get money that I'm not paying you. I'm not somebody who ungrateful. I will sue you to spoil my character, to disgrace my character. I will sue you. So BBC will hear it too.
So since the court dismissed the case,
yeah.
Has the lawyer tried contacting you maybe to tell you sorry for what he has done or anything of such?
No, not at all. This is how I went to the counselor who represent me now. He called Taylor. He said I want for her to go on the table. He refused.
Prior to a case.
So what's the name of the person lawyer you have now?
Well, we'll choose not to disclose that at this moment because we're still trying to, it was just for this case, but in regards to our whole property, we're still trying to secure, we're still trying to make sure we get right lawyers, yeah. So it's best that we don't disclose any information.
Now your mother has won a case. Someone may ask, why can't she just leave it like that instead of suing Councilor Taylor?
I think it's important and it's imperative that the world knows the truth, because at the end of the day, the only thing in life that you have total control about is your reputation. You understand? If someone goes great lengths and try their possible best to discredit you and make you look different in the eyes of other people, I think it goes so that once you win the case, which we have done, and I think it's right that there should be a counter lawsuit against Taylor for defaming her character. He understand. He knew the person that he was working with. He knows that there were never payment from any of the cases that he's won, apart from the pension case.
So why would he go and try to put my mother under duress and try to embarrass her, try to make her sign an unscrupulous document that he knows that it has no legal basis whatsoever? So I think I'll support my mother 100%. And let me say this. Prior to the case that prior before we went to the litigation, I personally text Counselor Taylor and told him, I said, listen, we understand that we've been together for a while. This is unfortunate that the phone I texted him and lost. But I took my time, I texted him, I said, listen, Counselor Taylor, we've been together almost like family, you understand? This is not necessary. I don't think that you need to take the home out of court, whereas you know that there have been no payment. You know, where is she going to take $6 million from? In Liberia is a very small society, it's a very small country where anything happens, especially in the judicial system, if there's any payment, your legal journalists will be aware, they will know what's going on. So why prompted him to make such a choice? That means he thought about it very meticulously. He knew his actions. He's a lawyer, obviously he knows the law. And he knows there's repercussions in the law if you take full advantage of it. I think that he took my mother for granted. He felt that she was uneducated, but he failed to realize that she has educated children that will make sure that the law is on our side. You understand? Yeah, we know justice can be slow, but sure, most of the time, I have to be honest here, most of the time, and most of our cases in Liberia we've won, you know, so the justice has always been on our side. So, but for someone to take that long and knows that there have never been payment, and for him to publicly come out there and misinform the public and make them to know that, or to believe that there was payment and my mother didn't pay me, I think it was very unfair. So I think it's all right that, and there's a countersuit that should go against it.
So the amount in the document that the 6.2 million, if they do pay your mother that the money they owe her, that amount you was to pay him for the case?
That's because it's a contract. We signed a contract and we wanted to fulfill that contract. There was no such time where we made him to believe that there won't be no payment. We've always assured him that there will be payment once we get paid. And in the contract we didn't have a retainer with him. We had a contract where it was on a case-by-case basis, you know. And now he's attaching the Van Woman case to other cases. Say, for example, say the Vonnie Sherman case. You understand? Just by him filing it, he put it on the document when he took the home out of court that we owe him it because he did the case. That case was never heard of. He just submitted an application to make the court hear the case. We never went through the case. There was never no litigation. There was never no proceedings in that case. So why would you put it on as part of your debt owed? It makes no sense.
And also the Taylor, he did it before, but only thing I don't take no action. Like $75,000 in I put it in the 80. I put it in sell it bank. So my king from Ezra, now Vanny Shaman can pay people. We the one who got, you know, something in Ezra, money in Ezra.
He was in charge of liquidation.
Yeah. So Vanny Shaman refused to pay us, to pay my money. So Taylor sued him. And we went to the court, to commercial court, and we won the case. He said he must pay Mr. Goldman. He said he wanted to pay in Liberian dollar. Vanny Shaman said he wanted to pay in Liberian dollar. I said no, that was US dollar. I put it in the account. That's how you will give me Liberian dollar. So we refuse that the argument will be, and Taylor sued him in Supreme Court. Yeah. When they call for the case, I don't know. Taylor not call me. I don't know. He went there. I don't know why he tell the people, why he talk to the people. He don't know how to talk to people. Yeah? So he made plan with the join them, and they put him in jail, and they display the case. Today, my money lost. Yes. Today. They put him in jail to solve it there for 3 days. Today, my 75,000 lost. Why put it in the bank, in the 88, 1988. Today. Don't be good for your business.
So it means he's been doing it to you.
Huh?
And it means he's been doing it, he want to do it again.
Yeah. So that the reason now It get on now because I not talk about that money, let forget it because Taylor be working for me. Then about it now, just rain the sky now. He start charging me all lot of things. Put me in jail. Say all my houses do this, they will put me in jail. Why? You put people in jail before? You can put people in jail. You don't know how to talk to people in Supreme Court, they put you in jail. Then that means you will put in jail, yeah? For what reason? So the way he spoiled my character, I will sue him for that.
How soon do we expect that?
Huh?
How soon we expect?
Well, I think
Really soon.
I think that that question cannot be answered because before we do anything, you obviously have to seek legal services, and they will give you the time frame. So there's no rush. The point is that for the sole purpose of him trying to defame a character, we won the case with the law. I mean, like very slow but sure, and we won the case. So therefore, she is gonna not retaliate, but she also going to use the same law that he's trying to use her against him. And for defaming her character, he has to pay the consequences. And may I add that we also wrote to the what's that committee? The ethics committee, because there were several breaches of law that he did towards us. You understand? For example, lawyer-client confidentiality agreement. Sometimes we get different people know about our case, privy information that nobody should know. People knows about it. You understand? And I think it's not professional. And there's several other things that I can't list right now. And because it will be in litigation, I don't want to put it in the air. So I think the old man. I mean, at first I was trying to stop her from going this route, but I think it's justifiable that she goes this route.
So you mean now you have a complaint before Councillor Taylor before the Grievance Ethics Committee?
Yes, we do.
For investigation.
Yes, we do.
So is there anything else you want to say that we didn't ask, maybe?
I just want to reiterate what my brother said. This is not retaliation. We don't have any ill malice or ill intention for our former Councilor Taylor. That what happened is when you make a personal issue so public and you defame somebody's character, they have to clear their name. As my brother said, we are only as good as our character and our name. So it is very important for us that we go the legal route to clear my mother's name, because he went the legal route to defame her. It's not because we're upset with him, we're angry with him, or because we want harm done to him in any way. You know, we would have just chosen for us to have gone our separate ways, to pay him once we receive our money, and, you know, let bygones be bygones, but that's not the route he chose to take. So, you know, we have to do things in a professional and legal manner, and that's the reason why we're doing it. It's not for any ill intent, and I just want to, you know, make that clear.
Thank you. Thank you very much.